what's going on, guys? This is episode 758 of the First and Frame Rate Show. I am VF Baller. Over here, we talk about Georgia Southern and Atlanta Falcons football. Let's jump back to the Atlanta Falcons. And I missed this on the 5th because I know they had the press conference. And after the press conference, Terry Fontenot, Raheem Morris, our new head coach, they went and had sit-down interviews with members of the media. I know, like 92.9 The Game. I know, like, if you see on the screen right here, DJ Shockley, and a couple of others as well. I can't remember everyone that they went to sit down with, but they sat down with a few people. And this is one quote that, for me, it's official. I know everybody kind of knew this already, so I know you've seen the titles like, yeah, we kind of knew that once, Arthur Smith is gone. But, yeah, no. Terry Fontenot tries his best to be very PC about it, but it is very hard to, skip around this particular situation. Desmond Ridder has not been that good. I knew that he wasn't not going to be the guy after the Jacksonville game or during the Jacksonville game. He threw those 2 picks. I was done with them. And I think a lot of people started to see it, especially in the Panthers game. The Panthers turnover, everybody, that was it for Ridder. Everybody was done with Ridder at that point. But nevertheless, we're going to talk about this quote. We're going to talk about these 48 seconds that was clipped. Shout out to Myles Garrett TV. If you want to check out his stuff, if you haven't already, his Twitter handle is on the screen, Myles Garrett at Myles Garrett TV. You can check him out. So we're going to talk about that. And shout out to DJ Shockley and Terry Fontenot. So if this is the first time here, welcome. I can be found on YouTube and Rumble. I am also on Anchor, Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcasts. If you want to watch the show in the visual side of the show, it is on Rumble and Spotify. If you want to listen to it, the audio, YouTube and Apple. And I really appreciate everybody who's been supporting. I cannot thank you guys enough. You guys are absolutely amazing. Follow me on Twitter or X at VF Baller. The website is firstandframerates.com. And the Cash App and PayPal links are below if you want to support the show. I had a few people ask me, like, what does VF Baller mean? Like, where did I get that from? Well, before I get into this thing right here, because it just crossed my mind. A couple people asked me. Well, before I started the podcast, I was mainly doing stuff in gaming. And if you look behind me, if you're watching the show, I have a lot of gaming stuff in this room. I mean, I'm a bona fide, gamer. I love playing games, in my spare time. And I love playing Madden. I was a big Madden fan, NCAA football fan, NFL 2K5 fan, All Pro Football 2K8 fan. And for the most part, I came up with VF Baller basically as the shortened or abbreviated version of Virtual Footballer. So that was my original YouTube name. I also have a YouTube channel that's under that, whole name, the VF Cast, where I talk about gaming. So that's where it came from. If anybody wanted to know, is basically my gamer tag, or the name I gave myself when I came on YouTube to talk about gaming. But that's just a side note, a little bit of inside baseball. Let's get into this. For the most part, we're going to look at or listen to this clip right here. And this clip right here is very telling. Yes, Ridder time is done. Yes, it's over with. And basically, if you can read it if you're watching the screen, but I'm not going to necessarily read it out. I want you to hear it from the source itself, Terry Fontenot, the GM of the Atlanta Falcons. And once I go through this, I'm going to talk about it and give you my thoughts and just go from there. So let's run this. And I think the audio may be in mono. So if you're listening to this, it may be on the left side of your speaker for some reason. X or Twitter tends to do that. I don't know why, but the audio is there. If you can't hear it in the right side, is more likely to be in the left. So let's go ahead and listen to it, and we'll go from there.
What are some of the things that you and your staff are going to be looking forward to, and what are the qualities that guy has to have to be the quarterback of this team?
Yeah, and you know how challenging it is. You obviously play the position, and we appreciate Des and Taylor. They went out and did their absolute best, and we know that not only in that area but a lot of areas on the team, we didn't win enough games, so we know we need to improve in a lot of areas. It's not just about one position, but we're not going to close any doors. We're going to turn over every stone. The free agency trade, the draft. We're going to look in every area, and there's different flavors. There's different ways to do it. Whether you look at the draft, whether you look at free agency, you look in the league right now in the top teams, there's different ways to do it at that particular position. We need to make sure we continue to improve the team and we bring in the right people in that spot.
Let me tell you something. The first part of that, he basically said that he appreciated what they've done, but they didn't win enough games. That means one or both are out the door. I think they're probably going to keep Dez around because of the rookie contract. But his time is up. I don't see him ever being QB1 again, or whatever the case may be. I just don't see it. Now, as far as the other stuff, we're going to go back and break down these 48 seconds, and I'm going to stop in the middle of each part and give you my thoughts and opinions on what he said, because I don't think he's being, professional. I'm not going to say he's not being professional, but professionally, he has to skirt around this. He can't really just go out and say, hey, we don't want this guy anymore. I mean, that's just highly unprofessional to do it. So he tried his best, but he let the cat out the bag. It is what it is. So I'm going to run it back again, and I'm basically going to stop it at some points where I'll give you some thoughts and opinions. So once it comes back up, then we'll just go from there, because it's a lot here. And I just feel that at the end of the day, he basically put it out there to let the people know what it is. So let's see. I'm going to refresh it and see if it goes. All right, here we go. Let's get it.
That you and your staff are going to be looking forward to, and what are the qualities that guy has to have to be the quarterback of this team?
Yeah, and you know how challenging it is. You obviously played the position, and we appreciate Des and Taylor. They went out and did their absolute best, and we know that not only in that area, but a lot of areas on the team, we didn't win enough games, so we know we need to improve in a lot of areas.
He doesn't mean improve in a lot of areas. They need to improve at the quarterback position. That's exactly what that means. So that when he said improve in a lot of areas, he's just trying not to single them out. But in the beginning of the quote, he basically did it. Like when he said they did their absolute best, that's just basically saying that, you did what you could, and like I said, it is what it is, but they need to improve in a lot of areas. Let's be honest. You want to improve the team every year, but if you've been following this team for the past 2 years at least, we know that this team itself is not a bad team. You want to get better, but it's not like you got glaring holes to the point where there's a serious problem with the team outside of one position.
It's not just about one position, but
he's lying. It is one position. I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to say I am badgering or jumping on Terry Fontenot, but it is about the one position. Let's be honest. You get a washed, Matt Ryan in here, or you get a quarterback that can see the field properly, you win this division. You get a quarterback that can get the ball to receivers and not throw it at the other team, you may win a playoff game. So it's not just, it's just one. It is that, for the most part, it's probably about 90% of one position. It ain't the running backs. It ain't the offensive line. It ain't the defense. It ain't the secondary. It ain't the special teams. Yeah.
We're not gonna close any doors. We're gonna turn over every stone. The free agency, trade, the draft. We're gonna look in every area, and
that's good. I'm glad that they want to look in every area. I may be wrong, but I'm not hanging my head on the trade. I don't believe Terry Fontenot is out here to lose any draft capital. Boy, I can't talk. He can't lose any draft capital. I don't think they're trying to do that. They want to use all their draft picks and get the most out of every pick that they get and bring the most quality players in. I don't see them moving up at this point. At one point, I thought they was going to go all in for Caleb Williams. Go ahead and go to number one, but I don't think it's viable. Maybe go up for Drake May. I just don't see them doing it. I will be surprised at this point if they move up. I already talked about this in a video I did where I think that Michael Penix will fall to them at 8, and I think that's what they're going to do. At the end of I feel like that's what they're going to do at this point, because it's just the way Raheem Morris and Terry Fontenot are, you just see the future. Well, you see what Terry Fontenot done in the past, and you kind of see what the future is holding for what Raheem Morris wants to do, and he told you what type of quarterback he wants. I think Penix basically fits that mold, but we'll see. We'll see.
And there's different flavors, there's different ways to do it. Whether you look at the draft, whether you look at free agency, you look in the league right now in the top teams, there's different ways to do it at that particular position.
He's only talking about Brock Purdy. You look at all the other quarterbacks that made it far in the playoffs, they were like top 10, top draft picks. I know that Patrick Mahomes was slated to go in the 20s in the first round but Kansas City moved up to number 10 to get him. So he was a top 10 pick. And the way that he's playing, he should have probably been number one overall pick. You look at Jared Goff, he was the number one overall pick. Who else was in the Lamar Jackson? He was a first round pick. So you're looking at players that, yeah, you may want to say it's different ways to do it, but unless if you have a Tom Brady, and I'm not trying to put Tom Brady and Brock Purdy in the same, realm, but as far as draft positions, they're almost identical. I mean, Brady was 6th round, 199 overall or something like that, and Purdy was Mr. Irrelevant. It's like, you see what I'm saying? It's not as, you got to get a quarterback in the first round, and preferably top 5, top 3. Michael Vick was a number 1 overall pick. You see how his career went really well. Matt Ryan went number 3 overall. You see how he went. Joe Burrow. You see all these guys that you got to get a guy in the top part of the draft. You just have to. There's not a lot of other ways to do this.
And we need to make sure we continue to improve the team and we bring in the right people in that spot.
Okay, so if you want to continue to improve this team and bring people in the right spot, this is what you want to do. Don't lose any draft capital. You know what I'm saying? You want to bring people in. Go ahead and use every draft pick you have. Hopefully that the Jacksonville Jaguars re-sign Calvin Ridley. We have another 2nd round pick. Go ahead. To me, from what he's saying, it just makes sense that he's going to get Penix, or they're going to get Penix, or they're going to get another quarterback at 8. They're not going to move up, and they're just going to use all their draft picks to get as much as good talent here. I just don't see them do it. I will be surprised. I will be extremely surprised if they do it at this point. I just don't see it. Now, if any of these other quarterbacks fall to 8, it'd be great, but I just think all the other ones will probably be off the board, and Penix will be the guy. There's also rumblings that it could be the lower tier guys that they try to get later on, like a Bo Nix or whatever the case may be. But I just think Penix is probably be the guy. I just see it. He doesn't have to move around. He has a good offensive line. He has 2 good running backs, possibly 3 if Cordell Patterson come back. You go get you another receiver with Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Scotty Miller, Mac Hollins. I don't know if he's coming back, and Jonnu Smith. I would love to bring Jonnu Smith back. And you got a lot of weapons for Penix. Penix will be fine. So, but that's just what my gut feels. I will be surprised if they don't get him, but I will be extremely surprised if they try to move up to get somebody. I just don't think it's in their nature to do it at this point. But nevertheless, Desmond Ridder time is up. It's done. You just listen to this entire clip right here. Now, you don't really need to know anything else. Like, one of these guys are gone. Either it's Desmond Ridder or Taylor Heineke. And I just don't know which one. But somebody's gone, So, shout out to Logan Woodside. I want to see Logan Woodside do some work, to be honest, just to have him. He seems like a good guy. It seems like he's a pretty good quarterback. And maybe he'll be a good backup sometime. He's paid his dues. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm talking crazy now. But if you like this commentary, the like button, share this podcast, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think I'm on point about what Terry Fontenot said? Do you think Terry Fontenot's on point with not, giving Desmond Ridder the time of day at this point and going to draft and find somebody else? I just think that it's a foregone conclusion now. I think they're going to do it. I mean, you got a couple of months until the draft. You still got free agency starting in another month. And you can't put Desmond Ridder back out there. At one point, I thought they were going to try to fix him, but I don't think the decision making is just out of whack. I don't think you can fix that stuff. It's just unfortunate because you had a plan, and even though I had my thoughts on Coach Arthur Smith, I saw the vision. I really did. I think we all did. You bring in a third round quarterback. You try to see what you can do and building a bunch of talent around him, and you don't have to pay all that money to a quarterback. And you could have been good for the next 4 years, and you would have had 4 good shots at a Super Bowl title with not having to put so much load on a quarterback salary. It just didn't work out. So I saw the vision. I didn't like his play calling. Him and Doug Ragone. I think that's his name, Doug or Dave Ragone. Well, it doesn't matter. I didn't like their play calling, but you saw what he tried to do. It just didn't work. This go round, I don't think Terry Fontenot is going to make that decision, to make that mistake, and not go that route. First round, you have to get a quarterback, and it just seems like with Drake May and you see Caleb Williams, possibly even Jaden Daniels, probably be off the board by the time you get to 8. I just think Penix is the move. So let me know what you guys think. I'm gonna get up out of here. Follow me on X at VF Baller. The website is firstandframerates.com. And if you want to support the show, CashApp and PayPal links are below. I really appreciate you guys. I'm going to get up out of here. Enjoy your Wednesday. It's almost to the weekend, going downhill from here. And you guys enjoy. All right, y'all. I'll see you on the next one. Y'all take it easy. Y'all be blessed. Peace.